what would you say your avatar client is? Is there a age range? I think it's pretty narrow bell curve that you'd have down there.
Well, a lot of practices, right? When clients or prospects out there, everyone gets inundated with stuff in the mail, right? Mm-hmm. And you got these practices now say, oh, we only focus on people with over 250,000 of investable assets, right? That's what we want, and they try to do that. I pride myself on not doing that.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a minimum?
I do not. Okay. And I don't know that I ever will. That's not who I am. Everyone's a human being and has a worth. Yeah. I don't care if you got $5,000, $10,000. If you need help and you need advice, I want to help you. It means you could say, oh, somebody with $50,000. I spend as much time with somebody with $50,000 to their name to help achieve their goals and get them to where they need to be, to put them at ease, as somebody with $5 million. It's the same work.
We've known each other, I don't know, 5 or 6 years now, I think. And we've never talked about that. But when I got into the firm, into the industry, I don't know, in 2003, I guess it was, my friends told me the same thing. They said, you've got to have a minimum, $250,000, $500,000, whatever.
Right.
And I said, no, not going to do it. I said, it's, that's not how you value people.
No.
And what they said is that if you don't have a minimum, they said you can't help everyone or you're going to go broke. And I said, well, I know I can't help everyone, but I'm willing to help anyone.
Right. That's a good way to put it.
Little distinction, but it's really true.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Lynn, I've never suffered for that. I've never suffered by saying, gee, I just wasted an hour with somebody. Who am I to think I am to feel that way? You know? And it's always worked out.
Yeah, so it's sort of all walks of life. I mean, our average client is 60 to 70, I would say, in that range, maybe early 60s, because we get definitely a lot of more pre-retirees, right? Trying to figure out the retirement, and it's just difficult nowadays trying to retire before 65 because healthcare costs. Yeah. That's one thing this government's got to get figured out. Social Security, you could take it as early as 62, but your whole check goes to healthcare. Yeah. And then you can get a subsidy through healthcare.gov. So now, I want to retire early, so I got to manipulate my income to be able to get a subsidy. My fear for everyone doing that today is, let's say I do that at 62. You have a current administration in office that raised the thresholds of what your income could be to get these nice subsidies to cover your health care. But will it be that way for the next 3 years? Like, you quit working and you retire based on what's available today. And what scares me is every administration, as soon as they come in, they change everything the previous one was doing.
Right. And it's getting more so that way.
And what if I'm not 65 yet and something changes? Do I go back to work? How do I cover that? Now my whole check is going to healthcare costs, right? Did it make sense? And so I really struggle with that. That's a silver bullet in my practice that I really struggle with. Some people are forced prior to 65. And how do we make it work, right? So a unique area, but 60 to 70, I said, with the market being so good since 2008, I mean, I would say most people have over 250,000 or so that I meet in their retirement plan through work. I mean, the largest assets we see is equity in their real estate. Phoenix, booming market, right? Crazy. Booming real estate market. And outside of that is their employer plan. And those work so well because they're dollar cost averaging, right? Best thing that happened to anyone retiring today, in my opinion, was Y2K 2008 and March of 2020. Market selling off. Every 2 weeks I'm getting paid. I'm buying the dip. I'm buying on Black Friday, right? Market gets back to even in 07, and I'm showing a great rate of return. The problem with that is the expectations, because over the last 22 years, that's what they've been doing.
And recency bias.
They think that's how it works in retirement. Yeah. And it doesn't.
And especially young people.
Right.
Young people. I mean, one of the best things the government did was when they said they changed the law around to say with a 401k, you're already opted in, you have to opt out.
Right.
And so many people, they have no clue about the 401k.
Right.
And young people looking and well, okay, that's how much money goes I can spend until the next payday.
Right.
But they're building some assets now, and they weren't before.
Sure.
But they're also, anybody who's younger than, 35, thinks the market goes up.
Right.
That's what you do.
Right.
Market goes up.
Right.
You had that once in a lifetime market crash in 2001. Right. And then 7 years later, you had another once in a lifetime market crash. Right.